Good morning, friends. Good morning, friends. Okay, happy to see you all in our new batch of AFM. So, we are starting today with our classes. Initial, maybe some 30 minutes, let us set the context and then we keep going towards the various areas. As you are aware, AFM, which is part of your group 1, is one of the most scoring paper. The paper which generally takes care of your aggregate. When you look at your group 1 versus group 2, the paper where most of the students score exemption is this paper, and we are going to travel for another 3.5 months. Daily morning will let us meet here at 6 a.m. Let us start at 6. Today I'm starting at 6:05, a slight delay, but generally I'll start at 6 itself. So let us start at 6. Be on time to the class so that you don't miss out the initial introduction. Today there is no major introduction, but as we do classes, generally the toughest area will be done early in the morning. So when I do the toughest area, you miss out 10 minutes. After that you have a blank face. I also have a blank face because I'm trying to explain, you are not able to understand. So let us start sharp on time and be on time to the class. This is one major advantage you have when you get into a face to face mode or a live online mode. Some discipline gets created when we watch it in recorded mode. Many of my students watch it in recorded mode also. When you watch it in recorded mode, sometimes the discipline can lack and that can lead to some trouble. Some of you already would have gone through your classes of other subjects, maybe in face to face mode or in live online mode or in recorded mode. Sometimes the discipline is not there when you see in other modes. That discipline you are going to create over the next 3.5 months, and this discipline you should carry till your exam. The purpose is very clear. You are in the class at this time, I am also there in the class, I also have that discipline, you also have that discipline, and in the next 3.5 months we will complete the entire AFM with good theoretical understanding as well as the practical exposure. We are going to link it to the practical part in most of the chapters. In most of the chapters, I will show you how does it impact a share price, how does it impact a mutual fund, how does an M&A happen in the practical world. So most of it we will link with the practical world. The only challenge could be is that most of the students don't work towards the AFM area in their articleship. In their articleship, you generally work maybe on an audit profile or on your direct tax profile or on indirect tax profile, but generally something related to valuation or something related to mergers, due diligence is rarely seen, but we'll still try to make it in a way that you are able to link it to the practical world. Also, the subject has one more most important part is post qualification. You ask most of the chartered accountant, they would want to work in a profile which is AFM related. They'll say, I want to work in investment banking, I want to do due diligence kind of a work, I want to do transaction advisory services, I want to do private equity related work. So most of the good profiles, I'm not saying other profiles are not good, but most of the AFM related profiles are generally most sought after by many chartered accountants. So if our base is strong when we do here, it generally helps you also in your post qualification whenever you are getting into those profile. So initial 10 minutes, I'm just telling you the importance of the subject. This is a make or break paper most of the students in group 1. I'm not sure if you have tracked what has happened in the papers. May 26, when the paper came, there was lots and lots of cry among the students because the paper became one of the toughest AFM paper. Before that, every attempt, too many exemptions were coming in this paper. So suddenly, when a scoring paper, when the paper which is the most important paper doesn't give you the score, your aggregate takes a hit. And some of you could have seen the problem of aggregate maybe at your CA Inter. At your CA Inter, everything would have worked well, but maybe you have run short of the aggregate marks and repeating it again. So this paper will make or break generally your group 1, and if you're writing both the groups, it may also have a say on the overall aggregate score. So the mindset, I first class itself I say that mindset of this paper is we are scoring 70s 80s, not the mindset with 40s 50s. That's not the mindset with which we study this paper. Because many students, there for example, when I used to study a theory paper at whenever I was a student, I generally used to think theory let me score 50s, practical area let me score more, and I try to manage my aggregate because my strength was practical area, theory was not my strength. Some of you guys may have the strength to be a theory area, majority may have a practical area. But in the practical area, if you want to score maximum marks, this is the subject. FR is also there. The only thing is FR is 2.5 times of the AFM's volume. If you look at your study material also, the kind of content which is there in FR and the kind of content which AFM has is totally different. And the amount because it is voluminous, even completing the classes take a lot of time because of the voluminous nature, you take lot of time to complete the classes itself. So because of which, if I want to make my group 1, this is the paper, and first class itself, open your notebook and write there. I just want you to write saying that you are scoring 70s 80s, whatever mark you want to write. Please open your notebook, write in your notebook. I want you to write, it's okay, just write that we are scoring 80, 70, whatever number you want to decide in AFM. You want to write 90, also write 90, but anything above 60 I am happy. We are scoring above 60, we are scoring above 60 in this paper. Whenever you open the book, the first thing you will see is this. It will tell you that this paper, we are scoring this mark. Let it be a tough paper, let it be an easy paper. So write there whatever score you want to do. I want you to think in that manner that this paper or this subject is going to be a 70-80 kind of a paper, and not kind of your 50-60. The 50-60 or even 40-50. The 40-50, some of the theory papers people read a lot, but despite that they are not able to score marks. It happens, it is not your difficult, it's not your problem, it is not my problem. But generally what I have seen in the past is, even you go back to your CA inter, maybe accounting you would have scored good marks, or any practical paper you would have scored good marks. Theoretical paper, generally the marks are on the lower side. This is general trend, nothing to do with any specific student, but generally ICI, when I look at mark sheets, I look at the mark sheet, I find their scores are auditing are on the lower side. Their scores may be on law which is not there for you, but otherwise paper like law, auditing, generally scores are lower. So I need something to push my score up, because if the score up is not happening with this subject, it can't happen with any other subject also. So you will have to, okay, somebody's vehicle you will have to repark, guys, please. 8221. Anyone's vehicle 8221. 8001. 5001. F5001. TN01B W8221. TN79J8001. Anyone's vehicle. Can you just repark it? Okay, let's resume. So as I was saying, the paper is one of the most scoring paper, and our intention, our mindset is very clear that we are scoring above 60 in this paper. With that mindset or the intention, we are going to prepare for this area. Now, I'll now talk about your chapters which are there, little bit about the paper pattern, maybe for 30 minutes, and then I get to specific chapter. Now, this is the paper pattern which institute follows. You have a 30 mark MCQ section, and there is a 70 mark descriptive section, which is what with most of the subjects is. 30 mark MCQ is going to be case scenario based. Case scenario is basically, instead of giving you individual MCQ, I give you a question. And in the question, I ask you 4, 5 sub question that is called case scenario based MCQ. So generally they will ask 5 case scenario of 6 marks each. Primarily it has to be practical problem solving, but recent trends indicate that even theory can be tested there. Even the theoretical concept can get tested as a MCQ case scenario. One question of 6 marks came as a theory case scenario in the May 2026 exam. So in the May 26 exam, we could see one theory based case scenario. Generally, it is questions, problem solving, but here in this attempt alone, one theory case scenario came. When it comes to the descriptive section, we are required to answer 5 out of 6 questions. Again, primarily problem solving, but every question will have a theory component. A 14-mark question broken down into 4 plus 6 plus 4, or 7 plus 7, or 8 plus 6, or 10 plus 4, whichever way ICI wants to break that 14 marks. Once they break that 14 marks, in the 14 marks, there is going to be a theory component in most of the problem. Indirectly, what this leads to is, if I have to write my 100-mark paper, I will have to at least answer 16 marks of theory in exam. At least 12 to 16 marks of theory I have to answer in exam, then only I can complete the paper. Assume I don't prepare theory and go, I can't complete the paper, because question number 1, your mandatory question, 4-mark theory. Question number 2, again there is a 4-mark theory. Question number 3, no theory maybe. Question 4, a 6-mark theory. Question 5, a 4-mark theory. Question 6, maybe theory is not there. So even if I try to answer those questions where theory is not there, but still 3, 4 questions I'll have to pick where there is a theory component as well. So in the end, we are going to answer 12 marks or maybe 16 marks of theory. So paper is not only practical problem solving, there is also going to be importance on the theory content. How we prepare, all that as we proceed ahead will understand, but it is not purely practical problem solving. There is a theory component as well in the subject, and theory gets generally tested for around 20 marks, and student may be answering for around 14 to 16 marks, leaving the choice question. The other thing is, this is the trend of the paper. You see something called as seen questions and new question. What is seen question is, I have my ICI study material, I have my MTP, I have my RTP, I have my previous year paper. Somewhere I have seen that problem earlier, and new question are something which is totally new. I'm not talking about numbers change alone, totally new. So when institute originally started, by this time, people felt AFM doesn't deserve their attention because the papers were very easy. The papers were very, very easy till your September 2025 exam. There was hardly any new questions in the exam. So what student used to do? Read the entire study material with lot of attention, solve all questions, try to do maybe 3, 4 attempts MTP, RTP, go to the exam. With this itself, they were scoring 70s, 80s in exam. So nobody would have thought that I should prepare more. Why should I try to do extra work when it was becoming so easier earlier? So till your September 25 exam, the trend was the new questions were not at all there in the paper. Almost, and even the new questions were generally in MCQ section, which students were somehow able to manage it. And till September 25, in fact, I remember September 25 attempt, whichever student sent me the mark sheet, invariably it was exemption in AFM. That attempt, I could see at least from my students, 250 students would have scored exemption, because invariably, the marks were above 60 in AFM that time. Maybe ICI realized it, that no, this is not the way we want students to learn the subject. So they brought in some difficulty in January exam, some difficulty. And that paper itself, many of the students found it difficult. That January paper itself, many found it difficult. May, least I talk about it. May was a paper where whoever wrote the paper were thinking that institute is taking some revenge against the students. That is what the mindset was. You looked at the paper, you look at left side, right side, almost everyone was crying in the exam. That is how the paper was set. I'm just setting you the context, because when I used to teach students in maybe January, closer to January 2026, I used to say we have to read everything. Then they were saying, no, sir, paper comes very easy. Why are you telling us to read all chapters? We will leave these chapters in choice. Mindset changed little bit in January. Mindset changed a lot in May. And unfortunately, it has went to the other extreme now. Other extreme is student is saying, sir, I will study institute study material, MTP, RTP, Chat GPT. I will take the other AI. I will prepare everything. No, we can't go to that extreme also. And we can't be in this side extreme also. Some stage, people felt it was very, very easy. So that time, mindset was that let us just prepare little bit and go. Now student is saying, no sir, you give me more, you give me more question, I'm ready to solve, you give me more. I can't go to the other extreme also, because many students are asking, sir, do I prepare with AI, do I do AI drafted questions, do I do this, do I do that? AI as such is unlimited. Unlimited means today, if I want to create 1,000 questions with AI, I can create 1,000 questions, because it can create the way it wants. So there's nothing like that I can master with AI. So our classes, our focus will be on concepts. We'll focus on concepts. Majority of my time will go in concept part. So once concepts are mastered, we will practice. I'll also be giving you certain practice questions. So you also need to practice at your end. Everything I am doing it in the class will not serve the purpose. So we have around 520 questions in the material. One addendum material also I've given, which has another 50 question. So put together 570 question. We will do maybe 450, 460. I will do it in the class. Others maybe I'll tell you to do at home. When you do it at home and come back the next day, we discuss that in the class. But the only requirement is you will have to do it at home. First class, all are very motivated. Initial classes, you are okay. After that, sir, my articleship gets over at 11 p.m. I can't manage all this. Let me do my CA related study later. Your articleship commitments generally takes the first priority, and your CA preparation takes the second priority for many of you who are doing articles as of now. Some of you could have completed and you could be writing your May 27 are very close to completion of your articles. But generally during articleship period, student says, for me, my first priority is articleship commitment. I'm nowhere saying no to it. But the problem is the same articleship firm will value differently if you go back post exam as a CA student and you clear and go. The same firm will value you differently. So at the end of the day, I need the qualification. I will do everything for my firm, but I also need to do something for self. That self time is your preparation time. That self time is basically your preparation time for the subject. If you don't prepare, you will be forced to write multiple attempts, which is a nightmare on its own. Writing it multiple times, one time itself, it is difficult. Seeing the same books again, same subject again, same classes again, same faculty again is not needed. I just want to clear it at the first stretch. First time, let me write clear. You can write one group at a time, both the group at a time, whatever you are comfortable. But let us clear it in our first attempt itself. If we have gone through multiple attempts, maybe things have gone bad. Let us come out of it. At inter, some of you could have gone through multiple attempts, and you may also know the pain of going through the multiple attempts. So, the person who hasn't gone through can only tell that it will be difficult, this, that, and all. But if you have gone through that difficult phase, Maybe there would have been nights where you would have cried, what am I doing with this? Why am I studying the CA now? My friend is happily there. I am studying CA. I am going through a tough time. So some of you have already gone through it, maybe at inter. Let us not repeat it at final. So the only request is be consistent to the class daily basis. If you are completing the class properly, that itself is half effort done. Half, okay. I'm not saying full effort done. That is half effort done. And after that, your revision, your self preparation. Also making it very clear, with classes alone, nobody can clear. If that was the scenario, all my students should score same marks because they come to classes and you are also have come to the classes. So with classes alone, nobody is going to clear. With classes, major chunk of your time, you also need to give for self-study. It's ideally 1:1 ratio. 1:1 ratio means 3 hours in class, 3 hours at home. At this point of time, the 3 hours may not be there with you, which I understand. I have no problem with that. But at least give one third of that time as you do in the classes. At home, go through the subject. At home, solve questions without me being there. Solve questions without looking at the solution. Any difficult area you found, please repeat that at home. Daily basis, we do at classes. One third of that time, at least give it for self study now. After your classes are over, whenever you do your revision, that time maybe 1 or 2 stages of AFM revision and you're done. You are done to face the exam. You will be confidently facing the exam, provided there is lots of self preparation. Again, I'm requesting this. Self preparation will become the biggest beneficiary or biggest requirement for you in order to clear your CA exam. Even in classes, I tell generally student, in class I explain a concept, I do a problem after explaining the concept. Generally when I do, my pace will be little slower because I want everyone to write along with me. You know the concept, why are you waiting for me? You solve it on your own before even I explain it. If you know the concept, if you understand the question, what is the point of waiting for me? You do on your own. In case you get stuck, anyway I am explaining it, so that time you can continue with me when you are doing it. I generally tell students that in the class itself, you solve before I start solving. But I can't wait for 10 minutes for you to solve. That I will not wait. I will start, but you would have started before me itself, and you can keep solving your solution. I keep solving it. This is a trick which I tell many students, that when you do it in the class, you keep class itself as your self preparation. Class itself becomes your self preparation. When I am not, I will explain the question, everything. But before that itself, if you want to start solving, do that in the class. You got stuck at some stage. Obviously, you need my help at that time. So you put a stop with your self preparation and then you start writing along with me. Also, our books has solutions are available for all the question. So it is not that I need a perfect notebook and all. In your notebook, you write, you scribble, you write again, scribble again, doesn't really matter. You don't want a perfect notebook and all. Make mistakes, make lots and lots of mistakes in the class. Keep making mistake. I'm happy if a student makes 1,000 mistakes in the class, so that you don't repeat those 1,000 in exam. You do some other mistake, I'm okay. In exam something else came, you did a new mistake, acceptable. But in class, make those mistakes so that in exam you don't repeat the mistake. In class, lot of times I force students to make mistake, correct the mistake, make them learn with that, but everything I can't do that way. So that is why I want you to make lots and lots of mistakes in my class. So few requests: come on time to the class, attend almost all the classes. In case any travel commitments come, you please take live online access from me. I'll give you the live online access in case any travel requirement is there. Live online access is only in case you can't come to the physical class. Take access from me, attend in live online mode. Some of the students are already attending in live online mode, so take that access, attend it. You could not attend live online, you could not attend physical. watch the recorded video. Generally, the recorded video will be there given to you by maybe 3 to 6 hours after the class. Generally, unless I have some other commitment that day, I complete my class at 9. Some processing works my admin does, and by 10 or 11, you will see the video also given to you. So, if you miss the class, at least you complete the video. Only request is when we reach November 30, that time you should not say, sir, I'm yet to complete 50 hours of video, 100 hours of video, all that I don't want. By November 30, either you have attended your classes in face-to-face mode, or in the live online mode, or in the recorded mode, whichever, if at all, see, you have opted for one mode, please follow that mode. But in case you have not been able to come because of certain requirements, see, I do understand at times some other commitments will come, and you can afford to have missing out on the classes also can happen. But even if you miss out, try to recover it back as soon as possible. Because what students generally do is, if they miss, then they message me, sir, when are you starting the next chapter? I will join from the next chapter. You miss out that chapter, suddenly in the next chapter again you miss out something, then a huge backlog gets created. See, at the end of the day, you have come for the classes, but my happiness will be the day you're able to complete your classes properly, and then you go confidently to your exam. So for going confidently to your exam, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, come. For going confidently to your exams, it is very much needed that you complete classes, do lots and lots of self study, do lots and lots of self study, complete classes, self study, complete classes, self study. I don't want any donation from you guys. Donation is registering for the classes, not attending the classes. We do see this in the past also. You could have done it at inter level also. You would have joined for some classes, not completing the classes. I will ensure that I give you the best of the classes. Any places you have doubts, you have clarification, I am there inside the class. Also, anytime you send me a message in WhatsApp, you will get your doubts clarified. I'm making it very, very clear in class 1. Whether it is a silly doubt or a complex doubt, I have no problem, but I may cross question you something. You ask me a doubt, I will say, can you tell me what have you done, or what is this? I will cross question you, answer that, your doubts will be clarified. Cross questioning is only for one purpose, because with cross questioning I will know your thought process and where you are going wrong. Suddenly I cross question, you don't ask me a doubt, then that is also wrong. You ask me your doubts, any number of doubts in the class, after the class, you either in the face to face mode after 9 o'clock. I'll be waiting for 15 minutes, you get your doubts clarified. Live online students, 9 to 9:15, get your doubts clarified. Not able to do before 6, I'm generally there in the class before 6 also, get your doubts clarified. Not able to do, go home, complete your articleship commitment, send me a message in WhatsApp with the image of the doubt. I'll ask you generally the image of the question or whatever. Send me, I'll 100% solve your doubts. This I'm giving you guarantee on day one itself. Whether you're writing May 27, writing November 27, May 28, November 28, I will travel along with you, provided you are happy to travel with me. You will have to take the whatever you want, we are ready to give, as long as you want those things from us. You are not asking your doubts, you are accumulating your doubts. It will become difficult for you at later stage as you keep accumulating doubts. In the class also, any doubts you have, anywhere you find some challenge in any concept, speed of delivery, anything, please tell it to us so that we make course correction that time itself. If you tell us saying that, sir, 20 classes later you say, sir, first class I could not understand, sir, you have to go little slow. After 20 class, what will I do? The 20 class is gone. So anytime you need any support, we are there. So please take help of that. I am here to serve you guys. So my job is very simple. You are our customer and customer is the king. That is what my mindset is always. We are there to serve you. We will give you the best of classes. We request certain things from you. Please do it. And I generally tell only one thing: be like a school student. A school student is a guy who will attend all the classes. You don't have a choice there. You don't attend your school, your parents will be called. We can't do all that, but your parents will be called the moment you don't attend your school. School starts at 9. Will you go at 9 or you will go at 9:30 to the school if it starts at 9? Participate, guys. Tell, this a very simple thing. Before 9, generally it is before 9 itself. Most of the time you will be in your school before 9. You can't afford to go late there. If they keep any midterm test, quarterly test, will you write or skip the test? But CA, you want to skip the test. CA will say we'll keep the test. In inter also, some faculties would have kept some mock test or something. No, no, we will not write. We will directly face the final exam. Directly face the final exam. 10th, 11th, 12th, 10th, 11th, 12th, or 10th and 12th, your board exam. Generally, I'll have to say it is easier than chartered accountancy. It is easier because your mindset was different there. The mindset was you were in a school curriculum, whether you prepare or not, but at least you were there with the subject for 6 hours. 6 to 7 hours you were in the school. Teacher used to teach something. You were there in the class. Whether you understood, not understood, that's a different story. But you were there in the class. You were there in the class. You were not wasting your time. Now also, if somebody studies 1 year consistently for 7 hours, 7 hours only I'm saying, you will clear your CA. You will clear your CA consistently. You do consistently. You do that for 1 year. Writing 3 midterm exam, 1 quarterly exam, 1 half-yearly exam, 1 pre-annual exam, and then writing your annual exam. Then writing your annual exam. I want to see a stage where there are schools for chartered accountancy, which can't happen. But I'm just saying, if there are schools for chartered accountancy, automatically things will happen. 1 year. I'm just talking, not some saying that last 2 months I'll prepare, last 3 months I'll prepare. All that story I'm not talking about. 1 full year consistently. If there was something like a school available, the passing rates will automatically go up. Passing rates for the CA will automatically go up. Many times, students are not even prepared and then still writing the exam. The passing rates are lower also because there are students who are not prepared. If you look at international courses like CFA or CPA, exam fees is in lakhs. So what happens now? I can't just go randomly write my exam. When the exam fees is in lakh, I can't randomly go and write the exam. CA, let us fill for 2 group. We will write 1 group if I want. We will write second group. Or I'll skip the exam also because the fees is insignificant. The fees doesn't create that fear to you. Whereas CFA, CPA, all these courses, people will go to the exam hall only post preparation. Only post preparation. You'll only see serious students there. You're not going to see a student without preparation going to the exam hall. I just want you that be like a school student. Give this course another, you've already given some years, give another whatever number of years depending on when you're writing your exam, maybe 2 years or 1 year. After that, I am confident that you will enjoy another 40 years of your life. That personally, I am experiencing it. After I cleared my chartered accountancy, 15 years I've got over after that phase, and all my 15 years, there is a tremendous change in my life, be it on the social side or financial side. The society respects you differently, as well as financially also you get a lot of benefit. So both are there. Both are there. The course just needs your hard work. More than hard work, I tell systematic work. Systematic means daily preparation. So come to class, do practice questions when I tell you to do at home. Students generally tell, sir, you are giving us practice question, we don't have time. Articleship commitments, we are not getting time. How to get time? You will have to only find, where is the time available. I generally used to keep 7 days a week. Now 6 days a week is for only one reason. One day, whichever day I want to give off, generally it will be Sundays from next week. But whenever I want to give you off, that one day off is not to take rest, it is to revise the 6 days class. It is to revise what has happened on the 6 days. Because generally when you do 3 hours in the class, you do your articleship, you also become tired. I agree to everything, but still You need to give time. When I was a CA student, uh, I did along with college. That time both were possible. Your inter was after articleship that time. 6 to 9 was class, CA class. 9 to 3:30 was articleship. 3:30 to 7:45 was my college. And after that, I was finding 1 hour to do self study. 1 hour. 18 months was the CA inter study period. So we had a very long study period. And CA final also, we had a long study period. But I was finding time. If you think you need this qualification, you will find time. Be serious. First day this guy talks, some seriousness comes. After 5 days, seriousness is thrown. That is not needed. Okay, I want you to be serious with your preparation. For 6 days a week, be serious. One day you can take rest. Rest is in the sense, I'm not telling about the class rest, I'm telling about maybe that day your articleship commitments are not there. Sunday you want to be relaxed little bit, you can do all that, but still 2 or 3 hours you have to still give to the subject. Please give this time to the course. 40 years of your life you will be happily enjoying this, I can guarantee you. People do say that sir, CA is losing value, this is happening, that is happening. Despite telling all this, the person who says, tell him to quit chartered accountancy, he will not quit it. He will not quit it. Whoever is saying, if he is doing chartered accountancy, are people who have cleared, they will say that no, CA has lost its value now and all. But still, the respect which they get when they go for an interview or other places is only because of the qualification. And the qualification only helps you for your first job. Okay, I'm making it very clear. After the first job, today, if I am a CA or not a CA wouldn't matter to you guys. I come and take class, you'll come to my class because I've been doing this for 15 years. You would have got some feedback about my classes. You're coming. It doesn't matter to you whether I am a CA Dinesh Jain or non-CA Dinesh Jain. Doesn't really matter, because after the first job, it is all your what you have been doing, but still the qualification helps. The qualification helps. There are a lot of negative things about the qualification, not this qualification. Be it doctor or be it engineering, a lot of negative things are there. Let us look at the positive side. Go with the positive mindset and clear it in the first attempt. Go with the positive mindset. Clear again. I'm saying again, clear it in the first attempt. If I have, if I don't study for first attempt properly, you study second, third, fourth. By the time you study 4 attempts, you clear also. And the amount of time you spent in 4 attempts, I'm asking you to spend in 1 attempt. The same amount of time. The same amount of time. I am requesting you that you spend in 1 attempt. You spend in 1 attempt. For some of your articleship would have got over also. You are maybe having that 6 month study gap, or you are getting closer to your articleship completion. The 6 month study gap is the golden period for you whenever you write your exam, because that time you have to revise lot. You have to revise lots. Whether it's one group, two group, that is your decision. I leave that to you. But prepare with the mindset that we want to clear it in the first attempt. I go a step ahead. The next mindset is to secure a rank. Secure a rank. That is the next mindset. But the first mindset is let us clear. Let us clear it in the first attempt itself. I want students to secure rank, but I don't want you to have that pressure. Enjoy the learning process rather than pressure of having a rank. When I studied as a student, I did not exactly aim for a rank. I did get a rank, but that was not the original mindset. Mindset was prepare, learn concepts, understand concepts, enjoy the learning process. The subject is a good subject. So let us enjoy the learning process. After you learn, you can use it for your, whether you want to get a rank or whether you want to do other things are later. And the learning will obviously help you in your earning in the end. It is obviously going to help in your earning in the end. So mindset is very clear. Attend all classes. Attend all classes. I'm repeating this maybe the 10th time, because every batch, not this batch, every batch of ours, being it from CA inter and CA final, because we give recorded backup, because of your articleship commitment, students generally take it very relaxed and start skipping the classes. Start skipping the classes. It's not that they don't complete it. Those set of students who did not attend the class, they have watched my videos, they have asked me doubts, they have completed everything. But it did not happen. If my class is getting over November 30, 2026, they completed in November 30, 2027. Maybe a year later or a 2 year later, then what is the point of coming for the classes? You have come for the classes with a mindset to complete it, and that completion can only happen with your cooperation. Nothing I can do. I can only tell you what is critical, what is important. This initial intro I am giving, after that, it is generally full subject delivery. I generally go out of the subject, rarely go out of the subject. So, if I am not going out of the subject, you only have to have that continuous motivation. Self motivation will only take you to the CA journey. Suddenly, somebody comes, talks for 20 minutes, you get an inspiration, you get a motivation that will survive for another 5 10 days. After that, going back to the original norm. The original norm is, let us not study, let us just go to the exam without preparation. That will not help. That will not help. So be very, very clear that we are completing our classes on time. When I complete on time, all my batches till now, we have never exceeded the time limit. Even in COVID situation, we completed our batches on time. So we will 100% complete your batch on time. That guarantee I'm giving you. Batch will get over on time. 100% it is not exceeding the limit which I have set in, because I already have a question in that timeline. So it will not exceed that timeline. So like I have a plan in place, you also prepare a plan in place. When you came to the class, today you know that there's a AFM class from 6 to 9. So you don't know what I'm going to teach and all, but you know that there's a class from 6 to 9 and you are going to study AFM. Similarly, at your end, start preparing a timetable for your study. Like a school gives you a timetable, this is one trick or one hack which really helped me in securing a rank. The only one hack is preparing a timetable. Preparing a timetable, nothing beyond that. The role of the timetable is very simple. It will at least create a guilt feeling. At least a guilt feeling will be created that I'm not studying. At least that feeling will be created, and I start becoming serious little bit. Otherwise, without a timetable, oh, November 27, we have so much time available. Then you keep coming closer to the exam time, and then you start panicking. So only one main thing is, see if you can prepare a timetable, weekly timetable, not even a very big. Today, you know, you can visualize your week. Monday evening 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. I'll study. That is all. Whatever you are, whatever is your timetable. Or 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. I'll study FR. 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. whichever time, whatever subject you want to study, create a weekly timetable. It will create a lots and lots of discipline. Otherwise, you open Instagram, 3 hours gone, 4 hours gone, you will not even know. I also spend a lot of time on Instagram. I can afford to spend. You can't afford to spend. You can't afford to spend that time. A lot of time goes in WhatsApp for me. All that I am able to afford, you can't afford. Have one timetable, just one timetable, weekly timetable, not even a very longer timetable. Next week, Monday, visualize when are you free. Write that slot, write the subject. Tuesday, when are you free? Write the slot, write the subject. I'm not talking AFM alone, okay? I'm not talking AFM alone. Just scoring AFM marks will not help. Other subjects also are needed. So get the slot, get the time, get the slot, and which subject you want to study. Week on week, if you prepare this, Sunday evening sit, morning sit, and prepare the timetable. Prepare the timetable. Not mandatory that you have to go by the timetable. Nowhere that it is mandatory, but at least it will give you a guide. And with that guide, you will know where you are going. Are you going in the right direction or the wrong direction? These are the only add-ons I can do from my side. Otherwise, subject you can learn on your own also, or I can teach you learn. But that's not the important point. From my journey, I'm telling you few points. My journey when I did my CA inter as well as CA final, both inter and final, I could score exemption in all the subjects, be it inter, be it final. Ultimately I got a rank in both, but the point is rank is the end result. The journey was the important one, because what people see is the end result. Whereas how did you achieve the end result, you will only know. There will be somebody who will come saying that I studied for 1 month, cleared my chartered accountancy. All those are false. And even if it is true, it is exception. It is exception. It is not the norm. It's not that you can study 1 month and clear your chartered accountants. They are exceptional people. Let us not compare ourselves with the exceptional guys. Let us do our preparation. So weekly timetable, like I tell you that I'm going to take a class, you please prepare your timetable. Prepare your timetable. Just to do this one request, one big request is preparing a weekly timetable. Sit on Sunday, Monday to Sunday, or Monday to Saturday, I leave it to you. I told one day I give gap, that day you study. I'm not, nothing is mandatory. As long as you have revised on a daily basis, that one day can be full day rest also. Everything is subjective. Everything is subjective. You only have to decide your plan. Somebody will say study late nights. Somebody are people who want to study early mornings. Everything is fine. Whatever is working well for you, whatever is working well for you, but prepare a timetable. Prepare a timetable. There are no shortcuts to success. There is zero shortcut. You have to 100% go through the longer path. Go through the path in a proper manner, so that we complete it in shortest possible time. Otherwise the journey will keep getting extended. It may become multiple attempts, which I don't want. I don't want any of my student to go through multiple attempts. I will give my best. I want the best from you also. That is the only request. Because see, when I start a class, if every class I come late, some student will get irritated saying that this faculty comes late every class. But when you are a student, you are ready to come late. It's the mindset is we want everything perfect from the other guy. When I start my batch, every student asks, sir, you will complete everything, no? You are not going to leave out any chapter. When you are doing your preparation, a message comes to me, sir, can I leave this two chapters alone? This two chapters alone I leave. In CA Inter, I don't want to do this capital budgeting and working capital. Can I leave this two chapter? But if a teacher says I will leave this and teach, you will not come to the class. You will not come to the class if I tell you that I am not completing this area. Every batch, I generally said sometimes in the inquiry office, they'll ask, sir, will you be keeping test and all? If we say no, he will not join. If we say yes and keep the test, he will not write also. He will not write also. So you want us to keep the test, but not write also. You want us to complete all the areas, but you don't want to prepare all the areas. You want us to complete the classes on time, but you don't want to complete the classes on time. You want us to start the classes sharp on time, end on time, but you won't join the classes on time. So I want everything perfect from the other side, but I don't want to be a perfect person. That is wrong. No, this is what majority mindset is. Majority mindset is, if I tell you today 15 chapters are there, in the 15 chapters, I am not going to complete 3 chapters. The first thing student will say, sir, we don't want your classes, sir. We don't want your classes if you're not completing 3 chapter. We want everything to be completed. We want you to teach everything, whichever way you teach, but you have to teach us everything. But when you are as a student closer to your exam, sir, can I leave this derivatives? Can I leave this forex? Can I leave this chapter? Can I leave that chapter? Mindset gets created. So please correct your mindset. This is the max I'm going to tell about your mindset and other things, and I'll go now to the subject. We'll be going to the first chapter and other things. But again, request is very clear. Attend classes on time, take up all tests, or basically follow whatever Dinesh Jain says for the next 3.5 months. Follow whatever this guy says. I'm not going to tell anything bad for you. Everything for your benefit only. I am not going to gain anything. I've already gained the moment you paid your fees. Money has come to me. But after that, I just need to deliver my service. If you learn and go, you will benefit and I'll be very happy. That is the final satisfaction. See, I was earlier working in Crisil Limited. I was a director there. I used to teach as well as work in a corporate office. I quit my the job maybe 2 years or 2.5 years back and doing full-time teaching. Full-time teachings are maybe 3 years. Full-time teaching is because that's my passion. I get happiness by doing this. When classes are not there for some period, I get really irritated, really bored. So this is where my happiness is. Come to the class, deliver the class. I get the energy from you. I get the learning from you. Today, if class was not there, I would have been sleeping. I would have been sleeping at this time. So a face-to-face class also creates a lot of discipline for me. Lots and lots of discipline gets created for me because of you guys. And I want you also to have that discipline because of me. And even many students who watch in recorded mode, two-thirds of my students watch it in recorded mode. They also need to have that discipline is daily basis, let us see classes, daily basis, let us learn. If that happens, automatically your learning is taken care, automatically the learning is taken care moment you do it with consistency and a better plan. I plan to go on a trip. When I go to any trip, generally the person who is going will do all possible plan. Day 1 we will visit this place, day 2 we will go to this place, day 3 we'll go to this place. Every small thing in your life you try to do a planning, except the bigger thing, which is your chartered accountancy. There the plan is not in place, so please, CA is asking, give me some attention. You are giving, I'm not saying no and all. Give more attention to this. Let us be done with it in the first attempt. In the first attempt, whenever you are writing your exam, some of you could have already written CA final also. CA final also, maybe you would have written, that's okay. Let us now focus with the clear mindset that next time when I'm writing, that is my last attempt. That is my last attempt or the first attempt of my CA final. Be done with it. If you're writing group wise, then obviously 2 exams you'll be writing. Whatever you're writing, I am generally in favor of writing both the group, but I leave that also to you. Group 1 you want to do, you do group 1. Group 2 you want to do group 2. Both the groups you want to do both the group. All that is okay. All that with the time you will decide. But the mindset, please correct it on day 1. We are now going to the subject. I'll explain the subject and other things. What are the chapters we have? What are we going to learn? How are we going to learn? All that, the learning process will start now. Okay. Now, coming to the material which I have given you, you would have got 3 material. One, there is a question bank. As the name indicates, the question bank will cover lot of practical problems. To be precise, 521 questions are there in our question bank, around 521 questions. The same question bank, the bigger book, will also have a theory component, a theory section in the end. Why theory? 20 marks of our exam is on theory. So theory section is also created, 468 to 591. Then you would have got one concept book. This is the most important material. This book will cover all concepts, majority of time. Majority means around 40% of the time will go in concept, 60% to solve them as we do the question, but majority of our time will focus on concepts. Learn concepts so that you are able to apply to any specific situation. You are able to apply this to any specific situation in life. Wherever I want to apply, I will apply the concept book understanding, the understanding from the concept book. One small addendum material would have come to you. It would have been a small material. This material will say something. I'll explain why the addendum material. Question bank which I created covers all question from ICI study material. Entire study material is covered. Still, for your satisfaction, when we do a problem, go to home and put a tick mark against that question in your study material. So that you get a comfort that study material is fully covered in the class. Study material is fully covered, and study material is very, very important. I'll talk about the importance as we proceed. Important questions of MTP. The word important means I have not kept all the problem. I would have done some removal. I can't keep the repeated question, but it says till September 2025. September 2025, which is where the addendum material is given. The addendum material, if you see, it will say it covers the Jan 26 MTP, May 26 MTP, Jan 26 MTP, May 26 MTP. The important questions are covered from there. Till now, till today, only May 26 MTP has come. Later MTPs will come. You may get later extra addendum material also whenever you are writing your exam. That's why I said, whenever you write your exam, I will keep traveling with you. Like I've added an addendum. I did not want to change the full material. I just wanted to add one extra material. So we've kept one small extra material for you that covers your Jan 26, May 26 mock test paper. Similarly, Jan 26, May 26 RTP would be covered there. Similarly, Jan 26, September 25 and May 26 previous year suggested answers. Suggested answers are also covered there. So as of now, we are covered with almost everything which ICI has released. ICI also released one model test paper that is also fully covered, unless they keep changing the model test paper. If anything new found there, I will add it in the addendum material. But whatever ICI resources there, almost everything is covered. Some questions I have done removal, whichever I felt are very similar in nature, because we can't be solving 1500 question. If I add everything, it will become 1500, and that is not needed. Also, that much is not needed. 520 and extra some 50 question with the concept book, more than sufficient to get the conceptual clarity. Okay, this is on the material which is given to you. You have one concept book, one question bank. Question bank also includes the theory book, also includes the theory material, and one addendum material. Depending on when you write your exam, I will be giving certain additional PDF. That additional PDF will cover new MTP, new RTP, new suggested answers. New MTP, new RTP, and new suggested answer. You need not do anything from your side other than just following what I give you. I will give you whichever attempt you are writing. Whichever attempt you are writing. If you are writing May 27, by the time ICI releases MTP, RTP, and suggested, I generally wait for all the three, club them together and give one material to the student. For every attempt, we give one material extra, one PDF will be given to you. So as you write your exams, could be May 27, November 27, May 28, November 28, all that would be given. Also, there are some talks of institute changing the curriculum itself. We don't know what will happen, when will happen. In case any curriculum change happens, and if there is a significant change, which I feel AFM will not have, but if there is any major change, anything extra there, you will get that also, depending on whenever you're writing, if at all anything there. I don't see anything major ICI adding on, but last time when they did, they added one extra chapter called capital budgeting from the last curriculum change to the new curriculum. So we did give to the students free of cost the capital budgeting part, saying that you please see this and complete your preparation. Material was given a soft copy, videos were given in some form so that they could complete it. If I find anything major coming in, anything major coming in, we will give you that. Later also, if there are major changes in the material, I generally give my material as a PDF, open PDF also. So that will also come to you in case at all curriculum change happen, which we don't know. I see it happening after 2028 only, or maybe 2029. We don't know when they are doing it. But if a change happens, it is going to be so. Last SFM and AFM, the change happened. There was zero changes there. Only one chapter they added. They added one chapter there called advanced capital budgeting. Otherwise, content wise, they did very minimal change. Content wise, there was very minimal change. Same story may continue now also, if at all they are doing any changes. Clear? So this is on whenever you are writing your exam. How do I get ready? How do I get ready for the preparation? By extra materials will be given, be it MTPs, RTPs, PYPs, or other things. I generally keep some quiz, certain videos I give. Everything would be given to you. Only thing is how much benefit you want to take is in your hand. How much benefit you want to take is in your hand. We can only tell you that this is there, this is there. Yesterday only I released one theory video for my past students, a 12-hour video. So like that I keep doing it. This video my earlier students are going to see. They would have come to the class, they would have forgotten what is done in the theory. So that video was given as a free YouTube video. Like this I keep doing something. So whenever you are writing your exam also, you will be getting a lot of extra thing. It all depends on you how much benefit you want to take out of the classes. Classes role is very simple, guide you, and that we will try. So coming to this, the study material. Now coming to the subject, what are we going to learn in the subject? Now we are going to learn about financial markets. Financial markets broadly, when somebody says financial market, something comes in our mind called as stock market. So we are going to learn something about the stock market, something about the stock market, not exactly buying and selling of the share, but something related to stock market, which is called security valuation. How do I arrive at value of any company? For example, ICICI Bank. The share price today is some 500, 600. What should be the fair value of ICICI share? How do I value ICICI share? We are going to learn security valuation. Extension of security valuation is business valuation. Both are almost same. Security is just focusing on single share or single bond or single debenture. Business means valuing the company as a whole. Both are similar. Both are similar. This is on the valuation side. We'll do something on security valuation, something on business valuation. Valuation is one major chunk of our discussion. Okay. We are also going to learn about risk management. Risk management means what can go wrong for anybody. Anybody, anything can go wrong. So we are going to learn about first interest rate risk management. How do I manage the risk arising out of interest rate? What is the risk arising? All that later. Okay. How do I manage the risk arising out of interest rates? Arising out of interest rates. Second, out of foreign exchange rates. Foreign exchange is your exchange rate between INR and dollar. How do I manage that risk? How do I manage the risk arising out of the forex change? Forex change. Third part, share price change or commodity change or metals change, gold prices going up, going down. This creates some problem for me as a businessman. Gold going up, going down. How do I manage that problem? This is managed through something called as derivatives. So three parts on risk management. Three parts on risk management. One is your interest rate risk management, forex part of it, derivatives part of it. And I see as a chapter called risk management, which is purely a theory chapter. But there we learn one concept called value at risk. Value at risk. It is part of a chapter called risk management. The name itself is risk management. So two parts on valuation, four parts on risk management. This is one part of it. This is one chunk. Apart from that, I also want to learn about certain instruments which are there in the practical world for doing investment. In instruments, I have an instrument called mutual fund. How do I, what is mutual fund? How do I invest in mutual fund? How do I calculate the return of a mutual fund? All that analysis will come into picture in the mutual fund chapter, which is one of the instrument which is there. Second part is an extension of mutual fund is portfolio management. Portfolio means whenever we invest, we don't invest in one company. We invest in basket of companies together, and that basket of companies together is called portfolio. So how do I manage a portfolio? How do I create a portfolio? What is portfolio creation? what is portfolio evaluation, what is portfolio review, what is portfolio change, some broad discussion around that. With the valuation being done, some companies may do something called as M&A. M&A is mergers and acquisition. I may acquire some entity, or I may do a merger, amalgamation accounting, you could have learnt about it. So a merger and acquisition can be done post valuation getting over. Post the valuation getting over, I may try to do an exercise called mergers and acquisition, which is your M&A analysis. M&A analysis. Apart from this, my CA Inter comes back. CA Inter, we did capital budgeting. That is a separate chapter here. And it's called advanced capital budgeting. Here it is called advanced capital budgeting and international capital budgeting or international financial management. International means something related to foreign currency. Something related to foreign currency. At CA Inter, when you would have done capital budgeting problem, it would have been an Indian company investing in India only. They would have given only rupee amounts. They wouldn't have given any other currency. So something on international capital budgeting. You see around 11 chapters here. 3 are pure theory chapters, fully theory, no practical. 14, and there's one chapter called security analysis, where something called as fundamental and technical analysis done, which is little away from all of this. So I have not clubbed it anywhere. So two parts to the valuation. One is stock valuation and business valuation. This ultimately leads to something called as M&A, ultimately leads to mergers and acquisition. Four parts on risk management. One is your interest rate risk management, derivatives which manages the risk, forex risk management, and a small area called value at risk. Value at risk is a very insignificant area. There are two parts called mutual fund and portfolio management, and CA Inter comes back, capital budgeting, which is called advanced capital budgeting, and international capital budgeting. Whatever I do, if you have some grip of CA Inter, things would be great. Even if your CA Inter FM was not great, I have no problem. It is going to be a clean slate approach. Some linkage I will keep doing to CA Inter, but majority I'll be explaining again like a fresh student. Like a fresh student, you are going to learn whether your CA Inter went well, did not go well, wouldn't really matter. But few places your CA Inter understanding will help me. Some things like in CA Inter, you would have learned something called as how cost of debt is calculated, how cost of equities, or what is debt, what is equity. All that basics we may not get in. But wherever needed, I am going to explain your CA Inter again. The CA Inter part, majority will be explained again. Out of my 80 classes, or if I spend maybe 200 hours in the class, 20 to 25 hours goes to indirectly CA Inter part. Indirectly in the class, the CA Inter part keeps coming back and I keep spending time there. This is broad chapter breakup. Security valuation, business valuation leading to M&A, risk management part, interest rate, forex, derivatives and value at risk, then mutual fund and portfolio, and capital budgeting and international capital budgeting. I have a specific order in which I take my class. If you are learning for the first time, this is specifically for my recorded students, because live to anyway you will see me only on that order. This is the order in which you will learn first time. Whatever, if you are a recorded student watching later, the order will be the order in which I take my class. A specific order I create. Reason is there are interlinkages. These interlinkages you will not be able to understand unless you understand the previous chapter. So without doing the previous chapter, I cannot move to the next chapter, and that interlinkages will be there. Not all chapters, but there are interlinkages. When you do your revision, you can do in any order. You can do that time in any order. Reason is you already know the concept. So you know the concept. When you are doing derivatives, I'll say what we did in forex, do you remember? Or when I do forex, I'll say what we did in derivatives, do you remember? So that linkage part, you will not know now. But when you are doing your revision, any order is fine. Revision phase, any order is fine. Clearly, broadly, I've explained you the subject, given you the material, explain what is there in the material also. excellent subject. We will try to link it as much as possible with the practical world, as much as possible. In this batch, I'm specifically going to ensure that I give you the practical flavor also. That may mean some extra 5-10 hours here and there, I'm okay with that. But the practical flavor I'm going to add in the most of the parts. In most of the parts, I'm going to add the practical flavor so that you know how do you go about using this in the practical world. In class I will explain you a lot of concepts, but don't play with real money. Real money means don't buy shares, debentures or futures, options. When I say, I'll explain the concept, but you're not going to play with your real money at this point of time. With your real money at this point of time, please don't play with your shares, futures, options. These are some of the instruments you will learn. I don't want at this point of time, because your full focus should be on learning. Later, you can go to earning. At this stage, it is not needed. At this stage, please undivided attention to the curriculum, because when I explain some concept, some student get very interested and try to apply that in the practical world by buying some shares or bonds or something, and they have suffered losses also, or they may get gains also. Gains are also possible, losses are also possible. I will teach you major chunk of it, will tell you what happens in the practical world, but please don't try to use them at this point of time. Clear your chartered accountancy, then use it. I have no problem. I have no problem at that stage, because today you do not have time to do research for buying shares, debentures, futures, options. I need to do research. That research time is not available for you. You do not have the time. So because of which, let us learn some part of it. You may be able to see practical world very rarely in your articleship. Very rare in your article. Something like forex, maybe you have done a company who has forex transaction, you'll be able to see some part of it. Derivatives, if some company has done, you may see. Shares, if your parents have purchased, maybe you see that in the practical world. So some things you will see in the practical world. Major area you will see in the practical world only post your qualification, post your, and that also provided you are getting into a stream related to this. Otherwise, many of us may not see this in the practical world. Many of us, I haven't seen practical world a company using derivative to hedge their risk. When I did my articleship or post, I haven't seen it. But maybe if I was in a company's CFO or somewhere, and the CFO is saying that we have to do it, maybe I would have seen that time. So if you are working on a stream related to AFM, you will see this in the practical world. But knowledge is very critical. You need this full knowledge. Clear? Done. I'm going to move to the first chapter. Any doubts or any request, not doubts, any request you specifically have, you can let me know. Class will start sharp at 6, end sharp at 9, sometimes slight early also. I may not go beyond 9. So whoever has your articleship, all that will be taken care of. Will end by 9. Very rarely, maybe 5 minutes up and down. Very rare. That is a very rare scenario. So first class itself, I'm telling you all my requirements very clear. My requirements are clear. Your requirements, you can tell me in one-to-one or in the class or whatever way. Keep telling so that I fulfill your requirements. Clear? Done? Done? Okay, we'll take a break of 10 minutes. Generally, I take a break around 7:30. 10 minutes break. I'll be back in 10 minutes. We'll start again. Okay, you can go out, whatever you do, but exact 10 minutes. Done? Let's take a break. Okay, we're going to start with the first chapter now. I'm going to start with mutual funds. That's the chapter we begin always our batch with. I'll explain what is happening in mutual funds. Why are we doing mutual funds? What is the role of the mutual funds? Just to start, it will first give you some data. This data will not be there with you in the material, but this is something I'll keep creating for every chapter. So just to give first practical flavor, the mutual fund industry is managing money worth 86 lakh crores. It is managing money worth. What is mutual fund in some time? It is managing money worth 86 lakh crores. That is people saving goes into mutual fund, and the industry has taken money of 86 lakh crores. That is the bigger size, or that is the size a mutual fund industry is. Approximately 10,000 chartered accountants directly or indirectly work in mutual fund industry. Directly or indirectly, around 10,000 chartered accountants. This is an estimate which I could get when I was reading more about the mutual fund industry. So maybe 2 years down the line or 3 years down the line, you could be one of those 10,000 chartered accountants who is working in this industry. So that is the importance of this industry. 86 lakh crore every month. 31,961 crore rupees of money is put into mutual fund. Approximately 1,000 crores per day. Approximately 1,000 crores per day is the amount of money this industry is taking in. Totally, there are 51 AMC. What is AMC and all as we proceed? Okay, there are 51 AMC. The largest one is the SBI Mutual Fund, which manages 12.6 lakh crore. SBI Mutual Fund is the biggest one. ICICI is the second biggest one. Like that, there are multiple mutual fund. SBI manages 12.6 lakh crores. That much amount of money is sitting with them. Industry has grown 6x in the last 10 years. In 2016, June 2016, 13 lakh crore they were managing. June 2026, they are managing 82 lakh crore, approximately 6x. Approximately 6x is the amount of money the mutual fund is managing. By now, you would have understood one thing: mutual fund basically manages money. It basically manages money, and at this point of time, it is managing 86 lakh crore. By the time I do my next batch, 86 lakh crore could have touched maybe 90, 95, or may touch 100 also. May touch 100 is difficult, but by the time I do my next batch, maybe another 7, 8 months time, or by the time we complete the batch, 86 may become 90 also. May become 90 also by the time we complete this batch. That is the amount of money. 10,000, 15,000 chartered accountants are employed in this industry, directly, indirectly. Indirectly, something called as wealth manager. I personally do wealth management for clients. That is something I do separately. So wealth management is one industry where chartered accountants work, and mutual fund provides you that wealth management practice. So this much amount of money is there. So as a CA, we need to know what is mutual fund, what does it do, how does a mutual fund work, what returns does it generate, what are the ways to calculate return. You will learn about the operational working part of it. With learning this, can I work in the mutual fund industry? No. To work in the mutual fund industry, other 11 chapters will help you, where you will learn about other aspects of finance, or you learn about how securities are valued, how business is valued. Other chapters will help you. This is just to know what is mutual fund and how does mutual fund work. Accounting part of it, I don't know whether you cover it in FR or at CA Inter. If at all accounting part, you may cover there. And if not there, that's a different story. But here, we're just going to understand how mutual fund works, or what is a mutual fund, what are the different terms related to mutual fund. This knowledge will not help you anywhere in working in a mutual fund industry. What is going to help is the other chapters as a overall package. Now, what does a mutual fund do? The role of mutual fund is very simple. I am working now. During my working phase, I get salary income. This salary income, I either spend or I invest. To invest money, there are multiple places where you can invest. One simplest way to put money is fixed deposit. Fixed deposit is a simple way to invest your money. How much return does fixed deposit give? Can you give me some number? 6%. Keep participating. Okay, 6 to 7%. Do we need to pay tax on this? So if I'm in the maximum slab, post tax I may earn only 5%. Post tax it could be 5%. What is India's inflation? Give me a number. India's inflation around 4-5% level. Okay, around 4-5% level. It can keep changing, but generally the interest rate and the inflation has a linkage. The interest rate and inflation has a linkage. You would have learned this maybe in economics also. As inflation goes up, interest rates go up. Inflation goes down, interest rates go down. I earn 5%. Value of the money goes down by 5%. In the end, I earn nothing. In the end, I earn nothing. And if you keep the money idle, then your value of the money is depleting by 5%. Value of the money is going down by 5%. So I have the salary income. Now I am little worried that after 20 years, I will not be getting salary because I'll have to retire at some point of time. So the purpose of investment is very simple. Most of the people do investment with only one objective in mind: convert their active income into passive income. What is active to passive? Is active is I come and take class. You give Bharadwaj Institute money, they give me money. But at some stage, I'll have to stop taking classes because there is a limitation. My age factor, other things can make it difficult for me to take classes. What I'm trying to do now is whatever I get from active income, can I get from passive income? What is passive income? Interest income, dividend income, or mutual fund income. These incomes are passive. Passive means I need not come and take class, but still I will be paid interest. I'll be paid dividend. So most of the people who are in the working scenario, they will invest money, accumulate 5 crores, 6 crores, 7 crores, 8 crores, 4 crores, 10 crores. Once you accumulate that money, interest income from that will be more or equal to your salary. Will be more or equal to your salary. This is the mindset with which everyone will be investing their money. When I do investment, FD gives me very negligible return. With FD, I can't manage. Another option is to invest in Nifty. There are other options also, but I'm now coming back to the area which I want to focus on. Nifty or Sensex. Any idea what is Nifty? Keep participating. Any idea what is Nifty? What is index? You'll have to tell me. Sorry? Top 50 companies of India. Top 50 companies of India is called Nifty 50. Like that in India, we have Nifty next 50. That is 51 to 100 companies. In India, the top 51 to 100 companies called Nifty next 50. Nifty next 50. Then we have mid cap. There is 50, 100, 150. What is 50, 100, 150 is 101 to 150th company, or 101 to 200th company, or 101 to 250th company. 101 to 250th company is mid cap 150. Mid cap 150. Then we have small cap. Then we have small cap. So in India, we have Nifty 50. This is more for your understanding of the practical world. Next 50, mid cap 50, 100, 150. 50 is 101 to 150. If you take 100, 101 to 200. And if you take 150, 101 to 250. Then we have small cap 250. 250 means 251st company till the 500th company. 251st company till the 500th company. Then we have micro cap. Micro cap is 501st company till 750th company. 501 till 750. Top 750 companies which are listed on NSE. Which are listed on, we have two exchange. One is BSE, second is NSE. Top 750 companies listed on NSE can be called as Nifty 50, Nifty next 50, Nifty mid cap 150, Nifty small cap 250, Nifty micro cap 250, Nifty micro cap 250. These are indices. These are indices. Why an index is created is, if Nifty is going up, it means on an average, all the 50 companies are going up. On an average, I can't keep checking. I want to know whether Indian market is going up or going down. I can't be saying ICICI going up, SBI going down, HDFC going up. One is going up, one is if you look at the market in the 750 company, 200 may go up, 300 may go down, 250 may remain same. Now I want to know what is happening in the market. Look at Nifty 50. If it is positive, more than most of the Nifty 50 companies are up. Most of the, look at next 50. If this index is up or down, this tells what is happening to 51 to 100. They also club this and call Nifty 100. They club this together and call Nifty 100. They club all of this together and call Nifty 500 till small cap. Till small cap is clubbed together and call Nifty 500. Club micro cap also Nifty 750. Nifty 750. We have multiple indices. Purpose of index is very simple. I'm little going away from the mutual fund topic, but just to give you broad perspective. The purpose of these indexes is every day open money control app, see what is happening to each index. Nothing you are going to do. I don't want you to do anything. Just to see each index at around 9:15 or at around 3:30 and see what is happening to each index. They will give index wise up and down. Like we have this, we also have sector wise index also. Sector wise means auto sector. Is the auto sector up or down? One sector is going through a lot of trouble time in India. Which sector as of now? If at all you have tracked markets. IT sector. I've got an answer in live online also. IT sector is going through a lot of trouble time. So if you look at IT sector last 1 year, it will show last 1 year negative returns. Last 1 year. So we have sector indices. We have market cap based indices. So a lot of indexes are there. The role of the index is very simple, to understand what is happening to a broader market. If I ask every student their marks and I give you every student performance, I understand what is happening. But if I take an average of all of you and I know the score, then I know whether this batch is performing well or not. When I take average of all of you, the average may hide bad performance and the good performance. It may hide that also. That is the issue with the index. But this gives me a broad understanding as to what is happening to the stock market. Any idea what is happening to Nifty over the last 2 years? Nifty over the last 2 years. Just some practical angle and then I'll come here. Any idea? Have you tracked markets? Have you seen markets? Okay. Nifty has remained at almost the same place for the last 2 years. Same place for the last 2 years. August 15, 2024, August 15, 2026, or August 15, 2025. Yesterday only I was seeing one message, almost at the same level. Same level means by investing in stock market last 2 years, people would have earned 0%. People would have earned 0% return over the last 2 years. This is Nifty. Like that, other indices are there. Despite all this, the stock market difficulty, Nifty or Sensex historically has given around 12%. Around 12% return has been given by Nifty, Sensex, or the broader stock market. Now, if I want to create wealth, then I may have to invest in such riskier places like Nifty or Sensex. I want to invest money there. In Nifty or Sensex, which company do I invest? Not able to find. I am finding it very difficult to know which company. I can't buy all 50 companies and all. 50 companies is, money is not there to buy 50 companies. Whether HDFC is better, TCS is better, or Tata Motors is better. Which company do I invest? I have no idea. Which is where a mutual fund is going to come into picture. This is the broad area where a mutual fund will come. So today, I create a mutual fund called Dinesh Jain Mutual Fund. I create a mutual fund, Dinesh Jain Mutual Fund, and tell all of you to give me 50,000. All of you give me 50,000 rupees. Everybody gives me 50,000 rupees. With this money, I create a mutual fund and I do investment on your behalf. I do investments on your behalf. Why I should do? Because you do not have the knowledge to invest in stock market. I have the knowledge. I have the resources to collect money from you. How much money is collected? India has collected 82 lakh crore. India has collected 82 lakh crores from so many investors and invested them at different places. Invested them at different places. There is something called as an investment objective. The objective will tell where the money will be invested. For example, gold mutual fund. The role of that mutual fund is to invest in gold. That's all. It will invest in gold, nothing else. You want to invest in gold, buy physical gold. You don't want to buy physical gold, buy gold mutual fund. Buy gold mutual fund. It serves the same purpose as gold. It serves the same purpose as gold. So I create a mutual fund, collect money from all of you, invest on your behalf, earn returns for you. Invest on your behalf and earn returns for you. Why is this coming into picture itself? It is coming into picture because persons on their own are not able to invest. People who have financial knowledge, you at least know what is there in financial management. At CA Inter, you have learned something. CA Final, you learn something. I run a wealth management practice. At least one third of our clients are chartered accountants. Chartered accountants themselves are not able to invest on their own. They themselves are not able to invest on their own, either knowledge issue or time. Time, because to invest, I have to do research. Do I work in a corporate or I do research? So they are not able to do. We manage their wealth. We manage their wealth. Put money in mutual fund. Put money in mutual fund. So the role is very simple. This instrument is the sole reason for retirement of so many people. So many people who are retiring, preserving wealth, creating wealth is solely and solely because of mutual fund. Solely and solely because of mutual fund. Collect money. So I keep investing my salary for 20 years. After 20 years, I retire. When I retire, the income from mutual fund will be more or less more than the salary income. More or less more than the salary income. Is it 20 years? In my personal case, I do still do the teaching part. That's more of passion driven. But I quit my corporate office when I felt personally that my salary income can be substituted with my MF income. The teaching income continues, but can be substituted with my MF income. Personally, that was my goal. When I felt that goal is achieved, I quit my corporate office. Today, most of the people who are working, there is general tendency that the earlier generation wanted to work till 50, 60, 65. The current generation are more of relaxed kind guys. They say we will work for 10 years, earn lots of money and then enjoy your life. I don't want to keep continuously working. I may do some work after that, but I don't want to take the stress of a corporate life for my entire life. So all those goals will be achieved through this instrument called mutual fund. This instrument is a primary reason for lot of retirements which happen. They use a term called FIRE, financial independence and retire early. Financial independence and retire early. And this is fueled by this concept or term called mutual fund. Very simple. Collect money, invest on your behalf. There are certain other terms which I'll explain, but this is what I do in a mutual fund. Collect money and invest on your behalf. Invest the money on your behalf. Purpose obviously is to earn returns for you. Purpose obviously is to earn returns, because unless I earn returns, you will not give the money to me. 82 lakh crore, one asset management companies are there. So every AMC is competing, saying that you give the money, you give the money to me. You don't give the money to others, you give the money to me. I will manage it. I will manage it. This is the broad context. I've explained the practical numbers. We also understood what is the role of a mutual fund or what is a mutual fund. Then I will get into now technicalities related to the mutual fund. This chapter is, from an exam point of view, carries weightage of around 10-12 marks, but practical world has lots of implication, because this is one instrument which does lot of wonders for people, and the only instrument which I tell students to start even at their articleship time. If you have money, start putting money in mutual fund, because you are not investing. Somebody else is taking care for you. Somebody else is taking care for you. You need not do any research. Everything they will do. You just need to invest. They will earn returns for you. Stock market, I have to invest. I have to do the research. I have to do the research, which is good if you are trying with an objective of learning and all. But time constraint. How many of us have time? We don't know, because we have our own constraints. So objective of mutual fund is collect money, invest money on the behalf of investors, invest money on the behalf of investors. Now I go to concept book. You can come to page 89. Mutual fund is an instrument, page 89, concept book. Mutual fund is a financial instrument, long term wealth creation as well as short term investment. It has both the objective. This is what MF does: pools money from large number of investor. Pools money means collects money from large number of investor, invest them, create returns. Invest, earn, pass the returns to the investor, reinvest, earn, pass the return, reinvest, earn, pass the return. It is a continuous cycle. It is a continuous cycle. Now, to create a mutual fund, I need practically these are the terms. There is a sponsor. Sponsor is basically an entity which creates the mutual fund. Sponsor is an entity which creates the mutual fund. To create the mutual fund, I need somebody who's financially well worth. I can't suddenly create one mutual fund. Dinesh Jain can't create a mutual fund because I am dealing with public money. I'm dealing with public money. So there are a lot of restrictions. One example of sponsor is ICICI Bank for ICICI Mutual Fund, SBI Bank for SBI Mutual Fund, HDFC Bank for HDFC Mutual Fund, Axis Bank for Axis Mutual Fund. Most of the banks are the sponsor for their own mutual fund. For their own mutual fund, I need a sponsor. A sponsor is a person who's a credible company with well known in the market. Otherwise, without a sponsor, what will happen? I raise the money and I run away. I raise the money and run away. It leads to huge losses. So when public money is being dealt, and this industry deals with how much money? 82 lakh crore. It deals with huge money. So there are a lot of restrictions on the industry. Trustee. Every mutual fund will have one trustee. This is separate companies. ICICI Bank, ICICI Trustee Private Limited, Public Limited, some company will be there. The role of the trustee is to ensure that the company which is doing the mutual fund activity works in the best interest of the investor. Works in the best interest. I collect the money from you and I personally take the money out. I personally take the money out. Trustee will ensure that I don't do all these stupid things. Trustee ensures that 82 lakh crore is put into the best interest of the investor. Best interest of the investor. AMC, Asset Management Company. AMC means Asset Management Company. Asset management means, asset means the money which you give is technically your asset. Is technically your asset, and I manage your asset. I manage your asset. I manage your money. I manage your money. Asset management company is the guy who manages the investment in the asset management company. I could be the fund manager, and you all are part of my research team. There will be a research team which does a lot of activity, and there is somebody on the face of it who is called mutual fund manager. Fund, what is a fund manager does? He takes the ultimate decision. For example, when you do an audit, there's a partner who signs the audit, but apart from the partner, all of you are working in that. So like that, in AMC, hundreds of chartered accountants could be working, and on face of it there can be a fund manager. On face of it there will be a fund manager who takes the ultimate decision: which stock to buy, which stock to sell, where to invest, where not to invest. All that decision is taken by the fund manager. along with trustee ensuring that I don't do any stupid things. I need a good research team. I need a good research team. The research team is the place where you could be working future. You could be working in future as part of a research team. One of the very well sought after role. One of the very sought after role is working in the research team of a mutual fund. You could also be working in the accounting team of a mutual. Accounting is somebody has to record all the transaction to reporting. So you could be working anywhere, but one of the most famous role is the research team. Research team does deciding which companies to buy, which companies to sell. Because there is a research team, there's a fund manager, there is a corporate office, they incur lot of expenses. They incur lot of expenses. I have to incur expense. No, without incurring expense, I can't run my operation. Without incurring the expenses, I can't run my operation. All these expenses, who will pay? Any idea? Who will pay for these expenses? The investors has to pay. The investor has to pay for all these expenses, and that is recovered as a part called expense ratio. We'll learn more about it as we proceed, but all these money are paid by the investor. Somebody says, I don't want to pay the expense, then you invest on your own directly. You may earn more also or less also. If you are able to do research on your own, invest on your own. You can't do, I will do research for you with the help of a big team, but you have to pay us money. That money payment is called expense ratio. That money is called expense ratio from your returns. If mutual fund earns 18, they will pass on only 16 to you. They'll pass on only 16 to you. 2% could be eliminated. Generally, the expense ratio is around 1 to 2%. 1 to 2% in the practical world is taken out from your earning. There is a loss of 8, your loss will be 10 that time. If there is a loss, your loss will increase. Last 2 years, I said markets did not give much. Maybe loss is there, your loss can be more also. Your loss can be more also, and gains will go down by 1 2%. Loss will increase by 1 2%. Many people think, no, I don't want to pay this 1 2%. Then you have to do investments on your own. But for doing investments on your own, we need to do a lot of research. And research ability, doubt whether we have the ability. Two things: ability to do research, time available to do research. Both are question mark. Some of the big MDs, CFOs, CEOs don't invest on their own directly. They give it to either a mutual fund or something called as portfolio management service, and they say, I can't do on my own. I can't do all this on my own. I give the money to you. You please manage it. I give the money. You please manage it. So there is an expense. And the last important part is you all. Investors are otherwise called as unit holders. Investors are called unit holders. You are the part owner of the mutual fund. You are the part owner of the mutual fund. So for a mutual fund to work, I need a sponsor, I need a trustee, I need an AMC, and I need crores and crores of investor. I need crores and crores of investors or lakhs and lakhs of investor. I technically manage this money of all of you guys. I manage the money of all of you guys. Just to give another practical example, we'll keep seeing practical example. There's a mutual fund called Parag Parik Flexi Cap Mutual Fund. Parag Parik Flexi Cap Mutual Fund. The sponsor for this is Parag Parik Financial Advisory Services Limited. This is the sponsor name. It is not a banking company. Generally, banks are the sponsor, but here they formed a AMC. This is a very well known mutual fund in the practical world. Trustee is PPFAS Trustee Company Private Limited. This is the trustee name, PPFAS Trustee Company Private Limited. Generally formed by them only, but they are independent company. AMC is called PPFAS Asset Management Private Limited. PPFAS Asset Management Private Limited. It manages as of now the single fund. Okay, every AMC will have multiple mutual funds within them. One mutual fund is called Parag Parik Flexi Cap. That has an AUM. AUM means how much money we are managing. Asset under management. Asset under management 1,43,388 crore. That is the amount of money single scheme of Parag Parik is managing. Single scheme of Parag Parik is managing 1,43,388 crore. What is NAV later discussion? Just to give one practical example. All these practical examples, once the batch gets over, I'll give you a PDF. Okay, because I keep noting it down on everyday basis, and then I'll give it to you in the end. So first we understood the overall industry data. One scheme I have explained you what is happening. Single scheme we have seen what is happening. Able to understand till this? Clear? Parag Parik Financial Advisory Services, PPFS Asset Management Private Limited, PPFS Trustee Company Private Limited. Lakhs of investor, in that one of the investor, I am also one of the investor in Parag Parik Flexi Cap. I have given my money to them for managing very well reputed mutual fund in the practical world. So like that, there are more and more of investors. Lakhs of investors are there. All they are like shareholders of a company. We have unit holders of a mutual fund. They are like the shareholders. Here it is called unit holder of the mutual fund. Unit holder of the mutual fund, and it manages 1,43,388 crore. Any doubts on what is mutual fund? What role does it play? The role which it plays is very, very critical. It invests on your behalf because lakhs and lakhs of people don't know how to invest on their own. Don't know how to invest on their own. I generally use a word financial doctor. When our health is bad, we may try something on our own, not working, go to a doctor to manage your health. Like for your wealth preservation, there's a mutual fund there. Mutual fund is going to preserve, create wealth for you. Preserve and create wealth for the investor. I can try something on my own, like I play with my health. Sometimes you get a fever, you don't directly go to the doctor, you take a dolo and then try. Things may become better also. Like that, we can try on our own also. But if you are not able to do on your own, you have to go to a mutual fund. People like us who at least have some knowledge of finance, some of the good earning people could be in an IT industry, could be a doctor, could be an engineer. They are not going to try and understand all this. They don't want this headache. Put money in mutual. Put money in mutual fund. They will manage the money on your behalf. Understood this? Now comes the concept one. Mutual fund return versus the individual return. Every concept, there will be some mapping which is done. There will be number on the concept. We go through the concept, go through the question, come back to the concept, come back to the question. This is how we'll keep doing it. Mutual fund return versus individual return. Listen, there are exam questions where they will say Dinesh Jain on his own can earn 18%. On my own, I can earn 18%. How much should the mutual fund earn so that I get 18%? How much should the mutual fund earn so that I get 18%? If mutual fund earns 18, I'll get only 16 because there are expenses. There are expenses. But if mutual fund earns 20, maybe I'll get my 16. Maybe I'll get my 16. So the question role is how much should the MF earn so that I get my desired return? I get my desired return. Where did this come into picture? This comes into picture because of another practical data. Mutual fund. I have noted down 5 mutual funds here. These are the 5 mutual fund with the highest expense ratio. Expense ratio means how much expenses they are incurring. LIC mutual fund consumption fund, LIC mutual fund mid cap fund, aggressive hybrid fund, value fund, manufacturing fund, huge expense ratio, the returns are also lower. The returns are also lower because generally 12% is a good return. Even 12% I'm not able to see in these funds. Maybe they want 14, 15, but because expenses are there, they are not able to give even 12. They are not able to give even 12 to the investor. So whenever you invest in mutual fund, one ratio we look at is expense ratio. Expense ratio will tell how much expenses as a proportion of the AUM. I said 80 lakh crore. If the expense ratio is 2%, the industry is spending 80 lakh into 2%. 80 lakh into 2. This is the highest expense ratio. Okay, this is India's highest expense ratio. There are funds with expense ratio of even 0.5, 0.6 also. The highest is 2.51. I in fact looked at the top 10, all 10 were LIC mutual funds. All the 10 were LIC. They have a very high expense ratio. So one metric which people check is the expense ratio of a mutual fund. If you have a higher expense ratio, direct impact is my returns go down. Direct impact is my returns go down. Broadly, I can tell the MF would have earned 2.5 plus 11.98. Broadly, the MF would have earned how much? 2.5 plus 11.98, which is around 14 and a half is a good return. Anything about 12 is a good return in the practical world. They are earning, they are not able to give it to the investor because of their expense ratio. Because of their expense ratio. Again, a practical flavor for you. 5 mutual fund with the highest expense ratio. Now, you have a lot of flexibility to do research now because AI tools are available. So you can do any kind of research you wish to. Who is the top AMC? How much MF they are managing? Which are the best funds? Which are the worst fund? All that research is possible now with the AI tools available. So with the AI tool only, I have given you these five. The top highest ones are these. So coming back to the concept, the MF return, ignore what is there in the denominator as of now. Okay, the MF return should match individual return plus the annual expense ratio. The MF return should match what? Individual return plus the annual expense ratio. Individual return plus the annual expense ratio. I'll come to the denominator. The denominator is part of the formula only. I'll come to the denominator. Individual return plus the annual expense. If LIC mutual fund has to give 12, looking at their expense ratio, they have to earn around 15%. They have to earn around 15% looking at their expense ratio. Low expense ratio, they will earn lower also. They can afford to earn lower also. In the end, you have to give this return. Live online, guys, you keep typing your doubts whenever you have or keep participating. You can unmute and say also. So 12 plus 3, 15. 12 plus 3 or 12 plus 2 and a half. Practical world, I have only one expense ratio, which is called annual expense ratio. Our institute includes two expense ratios. One is called annual, second is called initial expense ratio. Generally not there in the practical world. That is why in my example I have not added this. Initial expense ratio. What is initial expense ratios? Whenever I do an IPO, I raise 500 crores. But to do an IPO, do we incur expenses? Keep participating. Do we incur expenses? What are the expenses I'll incur to do an IPO? Listing fees. What else? You keep participating. What do you see as IPO expenses? Underwriting, some prospectus you have to develop. All these expenses we incur to do an IPO. In mutual fund, it is called NFO, new fund offer. Wherever you want to make running notes, you can make it, but it is called new fund offer. So when I'm doing a new fund offer, I raise 500 crore. 2% of that is my initial expense. 2% of that is my initial expense ratio. 2%, 1%, 5%, 3% is the initial expense ratio. Like there is a flotation cost. You would have come across a term called flotation cost. There are costs to start raising the money. I can't randomly come and say, give me money. You will say, you'll ask, why do you need money? Give us some document, do some research, give us some prospectus, something, and then money is raised. So when money is raised, we incur some expenses. Now, what institute says is, a person wants to earn the MF return is equal to, he is giving 100, he want to earn 15%, so he should earn 15 rupees. The MF should earn 15 rupees. Whatever I give without the formula. Formula we will not learn, we will understand logic, and at some stage you will remember the formula with the logic. 100 into 15%. So what they say is, I have to earn 15. I have to earn 15, but the mutual fund does not get 100. It gets 100 minus 2% of 100. It gets 100 minus 2% of 100. So I have to earn 15 on 98. I have to earn 15 on 98. I have to earn 15 rupees on what amount? On 98. You gave me 100. But when it came to my pocket, 2 rupees got distributed or got lost in multiple expenses. The institute says you have to earn 15 divided by 100 minus 2% of 100. Also earn another 3 rupees. What is another 3 rupees? Is recurring expense. 3 rupees is the recurring expense ratio. 3 rupees is the recurring expense ratio. So the formula is MF return is equal to own return, which in my example is 0.15. I generally do it in decimal. Okay. Own return is 0.15. Own return is 0.15. What is own return is? I can earn 0.15. I can earn 0.15 divided by 1 minus the initial expense ratio, which is 0.02. 1 minus the initial expense. Earn 15 paise on 98 paise. Earn 15 paise on 98 paise. Earn 15 paise on 98. Can you tell me 15 by 98 is how much? Give me a 4 decimal answer. 0.15 by 0.98. Keep participating. Live online guys, keep typing. 0.15, 3, 1. So I want every live online student to keep typing. That's how you will participate in the class. 0.1531. So I have to earn 15.31% to earn 15%, considering the initial expense ratio. Considering the initial expense ratio. On top of it, another 3% for recurring expense. So earn 18.31%. Earn 18.31% to earn what return? 15% return. To earn a 15% return, the MF has to earn how much? 18.31%. 18.31%. Able to understand the broad concept? 18.31%. Clear? Can we proceed? Understood? Done? Can we proceed? So listen, the formula is, let's repeat the formula. MF return is equal to, keep participating. What is the formula? Keep participating. Own return divided by 1 minus 1 minus initial expense ratio plus the annual expense ratio plus the annual expense ratio. I don't want you to remember any formula. I really don't want you to remember, but you still need to do one thing. Take any new notebook like a small diary, note down all the formulae there. Every day you have to note down. So at home you have to note down this formula separately. Sir, can't you give us a separate PDF? I can give also, and I have a PDF also, but I don't want to, because you also need to do some things. Your own notes are the best thing. Concept book has all the formula, but at home when you do revision, take a small notebook. 20 pages is the max I feel that notebook should have. Beyond that, you should not be writing there. 20-25 pages and all formulae will be noted. Understood this one? Clear? Okay. In the concept book, write here question 1 and 2. This I have a mapping sheet separately. I'll give that, but let us note it in the class. This concept is covered in question 1 and 2, which we are going to start now. Question 1 and 2 of our question bank. The concept is not fully over. There is something else to be explained, which I'll explain as we proceed. But the broad thing you are learning is part of the practical world. If there is a huge expense ratio, your returns will go down. Your returns will go down. The same fund, if the expense ratio was lower, investor would have earned more. Investor would have earned more in case the ER was on the lower side. The expense ratio was on the lower side. So for your practical part, whenever you browse, you want to learn more on the practical part, read about highest expense ratio, lowest expense ratio, which fund has how much expense ratio. Practical part, you can do a lot of things, whichever you want to do. In class, I will give you certain practical example. The 5 mutual funds all are of LIC AMC. All are of the LIC AMC and they have the highest expense ratio. Clear? Done? Can we proceed? Okay, now open question bank. Question bank and come to mutual fund chapter. Come to mutual fund chapter. Page 180. Page 180. I will first do question 2. Question 2. Page 180. Question 2. And this is the only problem we are going to do in today's session, just to get started with and understand this. This came in November 2019 exam, not a study material question, but November 2019 exam. You will see reference like this, SMTYK. Study material, test your knowledge question. Study material, test your knowledge question. So as we do the question, at home, you can just put a tick mark in the study material just to give you comfort that everything is covered, because students have that tendency to keep comparing. I make it easier by giving you the reference to the study material. Let us come to question 2. Mr. Alex, a practicing chartered accountant, can earn a return of 15% by investing in equity shares on his own. He is considering a recently announced equity based mutual fund in which the initial expenses are 6%, recurring expenses are 2%. Part 1. How much should the MF earn to provide Mr. Alex a return of 15% per annum? Part B is different. Okay. How much should the mutual fund earn to provide Mr. Alex a return of 15% per annum? I generally have a habit of reading the question 2-3 times. So we will read it again. By the time we read it 2-3 times, you will get grip on the question. Mr. Alex, a practicing chartered accountant, can earn a return of 15% by investing in equity shares on his own. What is this 15% call? Can you keep participating? What is this 15? This is my own return by investing where? By investing in shares. By investing in shares, I can earn a return of how much? 15%. If mutual fund earns 15, I'll get only 13. Mutual fund earns 15, I'll get only 13 because of the expenses. What are the expenses there? There are 2 expenses. What are the expenses? Initial expenses, how much? 6%. Recurring expenses, how much? There are 2 expenses there, initial expense and the recurring expense. Recurring expenses every year, initial is one time. Initial is one time. Practical world, the concept of IER is non-existent. Okay, IER is almost non-existent. How much should mutual fund earn to give Mr. Alex a return of how much? Keep participating, guys. You'll have to keep telling in the class. That is the purpose you are here. Okay, earning a return of how much? Mr. Alex want to earn a return of 15%. MF can't be earning 15. It has to earn what? More than 15. More than 15. Could be 16, could be 17, could be 18, could be 19. I don't know the number. We are going to do the calculation. Part 2 is entirely different. I'll come to part 2 in some time. Clear? Let us write now. MF return equal to mutual fund. Question 2. MF return is equal to MF return is equal to what is the formula? Participating in the formula. Own return divided by 1 minus initial expense ratio plus annual expense ratio or recurring expense ratio. 1 minus PER plus AER. Again, not to remember the formula, understand logic. I want to earn 15% on 100. I want to earn 15% on 100. But when the money goes to the mutual fund, they don't get 100. How much is the initial expense? Initial expense. Keep, I want everyone to say, please keep saying it's okay. Initial expense is how much? 6%. I want keep participating. Easier areas keep participating so that you get more and more grip. 1 minus the initial is in the denominator to tell I don't have the full money. I don't have the full money. How much is the own return? 0.15. Zero point 0.1. Can I write 15? Yes, you can write, but generally decimal is better. 0.15 divided by 1 minus 0.06, 0.15. Keep writing. 0.15. Keep writing with me unless I tell you not to write. Okay, few places I'll tell not to write. Otherwise, keep writing with me. You are going to write. Printed answers are there for every question. That does not mean you are not going to write. You have to write along with me. If writing is not needed, I will say 40-50 hours. But writing is mandatory in my class. Okay, 0.15 divided by 1 minus 0.06. What is the annual expense ratio? 0.02. 0.0, you will get a 4 decimal answer. After I multiply with 100, it will become 2 decimal in percentage. It will become 2 decimal in percentage. When I do it in percentage, ultimately it will become 2 decimal. Give me the first number. 0.15 by 0.94 is how much? 1596 plus 0.02. Much is the answer? Point OR 17.96%. In the practical world, if at all you are looking any mutual fund to buy, look at their expense ratio and broadly think in your mind that if I want 12, are they ready to earn 14? Will they earn 14 or not? If they can't earn 14, you can't get your 12. You can't get your 12 if 2% is the expense ratio. 2% is the lower expense ratio, obviously better. Lower expense ratio is obviously better. 17.96%. Any doubts in this? Understood part 1? Now coming to part 2 discussion. Any doubts on part 1? Clear? Okay. Now there are two ways of investing money. One is own, second is MF. When I do own investing, is there a need to do research? Can I invest without doing research? I can't invest without doing research. So I have to do research. Does research needs time? Yes. So own research takes 100 hours of my time every, or let's take 400 hours of my time every year. 400 hours of my time every year is gone in doing own investing. Own investing, I need to spend the time. 400 hours go. When you invest in mutual fund, also some time may be spent. What is the time is to find which mutual fund is better. I need not do anything else, but I have to track the performance. So here I may spend some time, but for just simple discussion, I say no time is needed. No time is needed. Okay, I need not spend any time on the mutual fund, but generally some 10 hours, 20 hours you have to spend even on evaluating the mutual fund. Okay, is time a free resource for everyone? No. So there could be that time has some opportunity cost. Time has some opportunity cost. So here I earn 1 crore into 12%, 12 lakh. I earn 1 crore into 12%, 12 lakh rupee. You want to make any running notes, you can make it. Otherwise, keep understanding the concept. Here, I can earn 1 crore into 16%. So I became very happy that own investing is better. I became very, very happy that own investing is better. The only problem is 400 hours of my time has some worth, has some worth. That worth is 400 hours into 2000 per hour is the opportunity cost. 4000 hours into 2000 per hour. I am a chartered accountant. If I do own investing, I can't do 2 AFM batches. I have to say no to an AFM batch and do own investing. If I say no to an AFM batch, I lose money from the AFM batch. I am free. No work is there. No opportunity cost. No work, no opportunity cost. But if I was doing some work, there is obviously an opportunity cost. If I invest in through own, or you can either write it as opportunity cost, or you can write other side, gain by investing in mutual fund. If I invest in mutual fund, I can do 2 more batches of AFM. If I invest in mutual fund, I need not do research, and that 400 hours is spent on 2 batches of AFM, and that gives me 8 lakh rupee. So mutual fund does not give you only 12 lakh rupee. It gives you free 400 hours. It gives you free 400 hours. Our own investing does not give you 16 lakh. It restricts your 400 hours. It restricts your 400 hours. Either you can call it as opportunity cost, or you can call it as income in the mutual fund. Either ways, okay? Not both, either ways. Either ways is what? Either it is a to earn 16 lakh, I have lost 400 into 2000. I have lost 400 into 2000. What is 400 into 2000? Each hour 2000 rupee loss. Each hour is 2000 rupee loss. How do I factor how much is this number? Some broad understanding you have. The top managing director, Mukesh Ambani, will have huge wealth. He is not going to invest on his own. He is not going to invest on his own. He will tell a professional, please manage my money. He may have an internal family office, they call, and they will manage their money. Mukesh Ambani is not going to tell where to invest, where not to invest. He doesn't want to waste time on this. He will use his time on running his business. So a person who has even 10,000 crore, or his wealth could be some 1 lakh crore, 2 lakh crore, 10 lakh crore, he himself says, I don't want to do all this managing wealth story, because opportunity cost. There is a opportunity cost. There is a and the other bigger story is, many a times own return can be even lower than the mutual fund return. Many a times in the practical world, the own return can be lower than the mutual fund return. So the mutual fund gives you lot of free time, gives you indirectly lots and lots of free time, gives lots and lots of free time. This free time is what is needed. Just give me a minute. Okay, there is a lots and lots of free time which is created by the mutual fund. Lots and lots of free time is created by the mutual fund. This free time can give you extra income or improve my quality of life. Earlier, I was not able to spend time with my kids. I was not able to do something else. So all this freeing up of time, the mutual fund can do. Otherwise, you have to do research on your own. Initial phase of my career, I want to learn about this. You can do research. But at some stage, if your articles, or if your office takes away major chunk of your time, you will not do own investing. You will not do own investing. This is the second concept. That is there an opportunity cost element? Then we do something called as cost benefit analysis. We do something called as cost benefit analysis of investing or not in a mutual fund. Investing or not in a mutual fund. Time is a finite resource for everyone. Time is a finite resource. Because there are limitation on availability of time, how do I make optimum use of the time? How do I make optimum use of the time? Understood the concept? Can we proceed? Let us read now part 2. Mr. Alex current annual professional income is rupees 40 lakh. Dinesh Jain's teaching income is rupees 40 lakhs. Just an example. Okay, his portfolio value is 50 lakh, and now he is spending 10% of his time, 10% of his time to manage his portfolio. How many hours they have not told, but they have told 10% of my time. If I work for 2000 hours a year, 200 hours are going in the managing the portfolio. If he spends this time on profession, his professional income will go up in the same proportion. His professional income will go up in the same proportion. That is, if I spend that 10% time on another AFM batch, my income will go up. My income will go up. He is thinking to invest his entire portfolio into a multi-cap fund. Multi-cap fund is one category of mutual fund. When I was explaining initially, I said Nifty 50, next 50, mid cap, small cap, micro cap. Multi cap will invest in multiple categories. It will invest in Nifty, that is called large cap. It may invest in mid cap. It may invest in small cap. It may invest even in micro cap. Okay, multi cap fund. Fund NAV. NAV is like the price. You will understand about NAV later. Will grow at 13% per annum. Will grow at 13% means after all expenses. Okay, after all expenses, the mutual fund will give you how much return? 13%. You are requested to advise whether he can invest his portfolio into multi-cap fund. If so, what is the net financial benefit? What is the net financial benefit? How much can I earn on my own? 15%. If I put it into mutual fund, how much will the mutual fund give? 13% after all its expenses. Okay, after all its expenses will give 13. Which is better? 15 is better or 13 is better? Generally 15 is better. Generally 15 is better, but now we have to factor in the opportunity cost. We have to factor in the opportunity cost. We have to factor in the opportunity cost. What is the opportunity cost? He's spending how much time? 10% time on his portfolio. If he spends this time on the profession, chartered accountancy, professional fees will go up. Professional fees will go up. We'll have to check whether it is advisable to invest in mutual fund and earn 13 or do on own and earn 15. I don't know which is better. We'll do the analysis. 15 could also be better. 13 could also be better. I have lot of free time. 15 is better. Lot of free time is there. 15 is better. There are no doubts there. No doubts on lot of free time available. No opportunity cost. Please earn 15. Please earn 15. Free time not there. Free time not there. So where do I use the time? Where do I use the time? Able to broadly understood the concept. I'll repeat again. I'll keep reading the question. What is the professional income today? 40 lakh. Portfolio value is 50 lakh, and he is spending 10% of the time to manage his portfolio. If he spends this time on profession, his income will go up in the same proportion. Income will go up in the same proportion. He is thinking to invest the money where? Into a multi-cap fund. Into a multi-cap fund. Now I have to see whether to earn 13 or 15. Earn 13 or 15. Clear? Any doubts on this? Cost benefit analysis of, right, working note 2, cost benefit analysis of MF investing. Cost benefit analysis of MF investing. Cost benefit analysis of MF investing. Particulars calculation amount. Cost benefit analysis of mutual fund investing. Particulars calculation amount. Benefits. Leave some 3-4 lines. Costs. Benefits and costs. There are benefits. There are costs. There are benefits and there are cost of investing. If I invest in mutual fund, I lose 15% on own income. I lose 15% on own income or own investing. And I earn how much in the mutual fund? 13. So, right, benefit is income from MF, income from MF, income from MF. How much is the portfolio size we have? We are earning what percentage? 15% from MF. 15% from MF. How much is this? If you have not brought the calculator first class, okay, but calculator mandatory, okay, and get used to one calculator for your entire journey. 6 lakh 50 first class, okay, but next class onwards, calculator, please bring one calculator and I need one highlighter. I'll need one highlighter. I'll tell you one highlighter is mandatory. I'll tell you the reasons. If you have a highlighter, it will save a lot of time during your revision time. 6 lakh 50. On the cost side, loss of income from own investing. Lakh into 10%. If I just keep this as of now, own investing is bad. If I just keep till this, if I just keep till this, sorry, the MF investing is bad. If I just keep till this, MF investing is bad. I earn how much? 650 and lose how much? 750. I can net off and write even 1 lakh as the net cost. Multiple ways of presenting it. 650 and 750. 650 and 750. Able to understand till this? Any doubts in this? Got clarity? Can we proceed? Invest in mutual fund, extra income due to diverting 10% time profession. Due to diverting 10% time to profession. Earlier, I was not giving time to my profession. Earlier, if I had 100 hours, 90 hours for my CA practice, 10 hours for managing the portfolio. Now I don't need that 10 hours time. I don't need the 10 hours time. If I give this time to the profession, automatically income will go up. Automatically income will go up. And that is a benefit of doing mutual fund investing. That is a benefit of doing mutual. What is the loss of doing mutual fund investing? 2% loss. The 2% is the loss and there is a benefit. There is a benefit. Earlier, 10% time was spent on profession, 10% time was spent on MF own investing, 90% was spent on profession. 90% time gave us how much income? 90% equal to lakh. Extra 10% will give you extra income. Extra 10% cross multiplication. Cross multiplication 40 lakh 10 upon 90. Cross multiplication 40 lakh into 10 upon 90. 10 upon 90. This is a extra income I get. This is a extra income I get by diverting the time from own investing to the profession. Own investing to the profession, and that is only possible if you do multi-cap fund mutual fund investing. If you do multi-cap fund mutual fund investing, lot of people instead of doing investing on their own prefer MF because of this one major factor. And I've got the answer in live online. 4 lakh 444. Any doubts in this? Put the total benefits. Total benefits. Tell me the total 10 lakh. Cost is only one number. Net benefit. Net benefit of MF investing. 3 lakh 344 444. That is the net benefit. Good participation live online, guys. Keep typing like that. 344, 444. Any doubts in this? Understood the number? Got? The same equation may change. Listen, we are done with the solution. If this was maybe 2 crore 50 lakh, maybe own investing is better. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just saying if it was 2 crore 50 lakh, more money, the 2% is substantial. Small amount of money, I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste my time to manage a small amount of money. I don't know. I'm just saying if 2 crore 50 and you do a cost benefit analysis, you may get a different answer. 250 into 30, 40 remains as it is. 250 into 15, and the answer may change. Answer may change. Able to understand this? Understood the question till now? Clear? Okay. Now, at the end of every question, you will have something called as difficulty level. As we do the problem, after the problem, in the class, please tick one of them, whatever is your wish. If you found this question to be easy, tick easy. Moderate, tick moderate. Difficult, tick difficult. Listen, don't be too strict and don't be too liberal. Saying that I want to mark everything difficult will not work. I want to mark everything easy will also not work. Take a call. Whatever you feel, please do the marking. Purpose is simple. When you get to revision phase, you will not have time to see 520 question, but you will have time to go through your difficult marked 300 question or 200 question. Ideally, one third is my final number. That's my expectation. 520 will get marked as one third difficult, one third moderate, one third easy. Easy, we should not see again. Moderate, first revision. Moderate and difficult, first revision. Difficult, second revision. That's all. This is the logic with which you are doing your marking. One third, one third, one third, ideally. Every problem we do, initially I will tell you do the marking, but later I may forget. You complete the problem, you just put a tick. You just put a tick. Clear? Second, key adjustments is something you have to write. When we do class problem, if you are in an urgency, because in class you will not have the time to write the key adjustment. At home you can write, but still what you can do, you can maybe use a highlighter and put a highlight here. Put a highlight here with highlighter. With your highlighter, if you feel the adjustment is worth seeing your effort or worth seeing again. So, in class, I can highlight the important adjustments with the highlighter, so that whenever I do my revision, it saves lot of my time. It saves lot of your time. See, I know in and out of the book. So you also, when you do your first study, try to reduce the size of the book. How do you reduce? By marking easy, moderate, difficult, and by marking with the highlighter. Best, not highlighter. Best is in the space, write the key adjustment. In the space, write the key adjustment. If at all you find anything, some question you don't find anything, I have no problem, don't write it. If you don't find anything, don't write anything. That's your wish. But these two things, if you do today, if you spend every class 10 minutes, it will save ultimately during your revision phase one third of your time. Whatever time you are doing for revision, because class goes on for 200 hours, revision can go on only for 100, 150 hours. It can't be again going on for 200 hours. It can't again go on for 200 hours. That's not possible. So you need to save time. Second revision, that 150 has to come down to 100 or even lower. And ultimately it has to go down to 20 hours day before exam. 20 hours day before exam, 1.5 days. So how do you make it? All that depends on the quality of your notes. Because I'll tell you one thing, if you are not writing the next exam and you're writing after a year or after 2 years, invariably you will forget most of the thing. Invariably, you will forget most of the points. And this, even All India rank 2 student of mine told me he forgot everything. But only thing is he had completed the classes, so he knew about it. His notes were very good, so he was able to recollect them faster. So in the batch, please do this marking easy, moderate, difficult. That is a very easy tick that has to happen within the class itself. Key adjustment depends on you. Very difficult during the class, you will be able to note down. Some students have noted down during the class also, but after the class sometime, or you don't want to spend time, highlight. Use the highlighter and highlight the important adjustment in the solution in the question. That's your wish. In the solution or in the question, I leave it to you. This is how we will be covering the concept, covering the question. Question 1 is a practice question for you. It is a practice question. Nothing is there. It is question 2 part 1. Question 2 part 1. Question 2 part 1. I can do it now also. It will take me 2 minutes. But you try at home once. Okay. Question 2 part 1. I could have removed question 1 itself. Kept it because it's a study material question. Otherwise, I would have removed that problem. So, some of the study material problems are very, very simple. Student have a mentality that they want to cover everything of study material. I've kept the question. Many will become practice question for you. The easier ones. Done? Understood? Okay. Now, going back to the concept book. Listen, we learned MF return versus individual return. Return to be earned by MF to give the same return which an investor would get on his own. One is without opportunity cost. We have a formula, individual return divided by 1 minus IER plus AER. With opportunity cost, do cost benefit analysis to check which is better. To revise, I just need to, next class, before you come, you just read concept 1. That's all. One concept is only done. And below the concept, there will be MCQ example. Below the concept, there will be MCQ examples. Again, MCQ examples, I will do some in the class. Some you may do it at home. MCQ examples are exactly what I did now. Just to give you that comfort, we will do example 1 and 2. Just to give you comfort that MCQ examples are created, that you read the concept, immediately apply the concept in one example, your understanding is better. Immediately apply. Let us do example 1. Mr. X can earn 12% on own. Example 1 concept book. Initial expense ratio 5%, annual expense ratio 2%. How much should the MF earn to give a return of how much? 12%. How much should the MF earn to give a return of 12%? Understood the question? Can we start? Right. Example 1 in your notebook. Example 1. Example 1. Now listen, all the examples are technically repeating what we do in questions. Repeating what we do in question. Why are the examples there? You read the concept, go through the example, you understand it better. Certain areas, I don't even want you to solve practical question in revision. Just the example is sufficient. Just the example itself is sufficient. If I had done the concept and the example, I would have saved half of my time today. Half of the time which I discussed the concept, but I can't do that. In class, we will do problem. Examples are given just to quickly go through the concept. Now, right. What is the formula? Keep participating. MF, keep participating. MF return equal to what? Keep participating, keep writing. Own return divided by 1 minus IER plus AER. Plus AER. I got the answer in live online. Let us complete here also. How much is the own return? Well, keep writing. 0.12. 0.12. 1 minus 0.055. AER 0. 0.12 by 0.945 is how much? Point. Divide this number. 12 plus 0.02. 14 point. Now, if I do this example, that problem was not needed. Why did we do that problem? The example itself is sufficient. We were just wasting our time there. So, class, I will be doing descriptive problem. At home or whenever you revise, you will do the MCQ example to reinforce your understanding. Same concept done 5 times. clarity will be better. The same concept repeated 5. Answer is what? 14.63. Let us do example 2. Same example. You will see the same example. Some here and there changes will be there. Mr. X can earn 15% on own. MF will give him a return of 13%. Portfolio value is 100 lakh. Mr. X is a chartered accountant, currently earning professional income of 45 lakh. Mr. X is spending 10% of time. If he spends this time on profession, his income will increase proportionately. What is the net gain or loss in investing in mutual fund? You see the question, you will understand that it is just repeating what we did. Why are these being created? Easy to go through the example, because you read the concept, you do the example. Read the concept, do the example. Can we start this? Open cost benefit analysis. Open please. Example 2, cost benefit analysis. Example 2. Write. Please. You write in your notebook. I'm doing it in the screen. You don't see the screen. Keep writing in your notebook. I'm writing in the screen. Example 2. Write in your notebook. I am writing in the screen. Please write. In class, keep writing as much as possible. You write and then see the screen. Do on your own. I've started getting answers in live online. It is the same example. Repeating multiple times will reinforce your understanding, and there are many places where descriptive question is not even needed. The MCQ example itself is a very powerful one to understand the concept. Clear? Understood this? Gain is 3 lakh rupees. Like this, you will see around 300, 400 MCQ example, like 520 questions are there. I've kept around 300, 400 example to check our understanding immediately. These MCQs will not repeat an exam as case scenario. These examples will help you in solving the descriptive question, will help in solving the descriptive question itself. Able to understand this? Any doubts here? Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I didn't want to do it in the first class itself. Some places our solution and ICI solution will have a difference. Logical solution, I give it to you. In exam, what needs to be followed is our institute solution. There is some difference in the way institute has done the solution. But one thing I'll tell you is they found this mistake. They have not tested the same question again in exam. So many places when they set a question and if there is a mistake, they don't ask that question again, and if they ask, they may change the logical solution also. You can see the ICI solution later at home. I didn't want to didn't want to get it in the first class itself to create that negative, because some question out of the 520 question you will see maybe 20 problems where there will be some logical gap in the ICI solution, some logical gap in the ICI solution. What we still follow is our institute solution only. That's why I've given the note there. But the illogical solution is difficult to explain for me, because if I explain, the entire learning process will get disturbed. So that is why I have given the illogical solution. As I proceed forward in later questions, I'll get into it. Some places there will be a huge variation there and all, I'll get into it. This was a broad concept. Now we are done almost with today's session. 2 minutes of time every day after the class or before the next class. I don't want you to do anything in question bank. I just want you to go through concept book alone. Just the concept book alone you need to go through. Solve MCQ examples. Any descriptive question I give, please solve it then and there, so that to save time. And in question bank, marking is done in class. Highlighter or noting down the important adjustment. This is how we will be flowing. This is how our approach will be: concept, question, along with practical linkage for most of the item. Along with linkage for most of the item, practical linkage will enhance your curiosity level, and maybe you read more about it. That's all. Done. We are done with today's session. We'll continue with this in as we proceed. Generally, one day a week, which is mostly Sunday. Mostly Sunday, you'll have no class, but I'll keep updating in the group. Done. We'll end with this. Thank you, friends.